All right, here we go. Let's talk about starting before you're ready, which is exactly what I am doing right now. I have some information about how to record audio, how to upload to different sites. I was even gifted a microphone that would be really good for recording things. But you know what? I still feel overwhelmed. I still feel anxious, but this is important to me. So right now I'm using the basic voice memo recorder app on my phone, and I'm talking into my phone. I'm not even using a headset with a microphone on it. I'm just using the phone. I'm like laying down and holding it up to my face while I talk. Because again, this is important to me, and this is something that I just need to start doing. It's something I just need to pull the trigger on, for lack of better phrasing. Because if I don't do it now, I don't know that I will. Or I'll just keep pushing it down the line, and I'll either completely give up on the idea or just make excuses in perpetuity as to why I shouldn't or can't or won't get started. So I'm starting now. And that's what I want to talk to you about. I want to talk with you about starting before you're ready, jumping into the deep end, being engulfed, consumed, immersed, whatever other word or adjective you can come up with to describe the feeling of being out of your element and having to figure it out as you go. And honestly, that's kind of just how life is anyway. We're all just figuring it out as we go. We can't guarantee that everything's going to be okay. We can't make that promise that everything's going to be fine or that it's going to be easy, because that's not how life works. And lately I've been wondering, when I struggle, am I struggling because something is actually difficult, or is it a struggle for me because I was led to believe it would be easy, or because I presumed it would be easy? Because sometimes things are easy. Sometimes things just come naturally to people, and they're in a situation where all of the pieces fit together perfectly and it's seamless. However, that's not the case for everybody, and that's definitely not the case for everything. When people say that good things take effort and hard work, that's true. So here we are, putting the effort in, stumbling, tripping, falling, but still getting up and moving forward, crawling if we have to. And that's what I'm doing right now. And I hope that you think about that. What is there something in your life that you've been drawn to, that you're interested in, that's calling your name, but for some reason or other, you haven't started it yet because you're waiting for the perfect moment, or you're waiting for a sign, or you're waiting for something or someone to give you permission? Well, guess what? If you need permission, I'm giving you permission. If you're looking for a sign, this is your sign. Go do, go be, go become. Whatever it is, we'll figure it all out together. Okay? I'm figuring out how to put out a podcast, as well as all of the other creative things that I'm interested in. And I know it's going to be tricky, but this is something that's important to me, and I can't hold it in. I can't pretend anymore. So here we are. And a little background on it. Let me tell you where the idea for all of this came from, and maybe it'll just be good for me to share, or maybe this will sound familiar to some of you, or similar maybe to some of the things that you've gone through. But this all started maybe a few years ago, honestly, which is kind of ridiculous to say out loud, but the truth is the truth. But anyway, so my uncle who's more like a big brother, and he says I'm like his younger sister. I consider him my best friend. We talk a lot, and we talk about a lot of things. And at one point, he told me, he said, you know what? You've got the gift of gab. Have you ever thought about doing a YouTube channel? And I told him no, because the truth was, up to that point, I hadn't truly thought about doing a YouTube channel. And so he brought it up a few times. He said, oh, I'll help you get started. I'll get your equipment, whatever you need. And I hemmed and I hawed and ultimately said no. And then I was asked to do some contract work with a health company collective that I'm really into. And that involved making videos of myself doing workout demos that were uploaded to YouTube and put into weekly newsletters. And even that, I wasn't super keen on being on YouTube, but the thing is, the videos were only available for people who have the link to them. Also, they're silent. Also, they're sped up. It's literally just a minute of me doing a workout demo. So one set of however many moves with a particular tool. And so that sort of gave me a taste of what it would require, how to record a video, how many takes it might take to make a video, and some super basic editing. So basically how to clip the pieces, how to speed up the video so that it is only a minute or less long, because we needed them to be short so that we could use them on YouTube as well as on Instagram. And so I kind of got an idea of what it would be like to make videos. And so I thought, okay, well, I've got a camera. I have the beginnings of editing skills. What if I try to make some videos? And I tried. And I don't think that I want to vlog. I can't reconcile carrying a camera around as I go about my day, because there's a lot of stuff that I do in my day that, one, I think might be a little bit boring or overwhelming. And number two, I just don't want to carry a camera around. I don't want to vlog. I also realize I don't feel comfortable just staring into a camera. Maybe that'll change. Maybe my skills will develop and I'll feel more comfortable speaking while looking into a camera. Or maybe if this podcast evolves into something where I am talking with someone, we can both be on camera, and maybe there will be videos uploaded to YouTube of the podcast, the way that a lot of other podcasters do it, where they have both an audio and a video component. But that is not the next step right now. My next step is simply to hit record and get started, which is, as I keep saying, what I'm doing right now. So the YouTube channel thing, I tried, I couldn't do it. It just didn't work for me at the time. And so I put that idea on the back burner. However, at that point, a spark had been ignited, and my uncle continued to encourage me, and I started to brainstorm and talk to some trusted friends and explain, hey, I've got this idea, but I just can't bring myself to do YouTube. And that was when they suggested I do a podcast. And I thought, well, heck, this is why you network and brainstorm and find your trusted people, so that you can bounce ideas off each other and find solutions to each other's problems, or conundrums, I guess, because this wasn't even so much a problem so much as it was something I was trying to figure out what the next step was. And so the suggestion of a podcast, that was the light bulb. That was when the idea came on, and suddenly I had so many potential topics to discuss, so many ideas, so many people that immediately I thought, ooh, that person would be great to talk to. That person would be great for this. And it's just been churning. It's been cooking on simmer this whole time for a few weeks now, while I'm trying to figure out how to make this work, what to call it, everything else. And of course, life gets in the way. There have been a few things that have popped up, and a few things that have happened to friends and family that have caused a delay in me recording my first episode. But you know what? That's fine. That's life. We work around it. We figure it out. And that's what I'm doing right now. Like I said, I'm recording this episode into my voice memo, and I am in my bedroom with the doors closed because I just wanted it to be as quiet as I could make it without having to get all my special equipment out. And I hope that the audio quality on this is okay. I'll put it through an editor to clean up any background noise or any weird ambiance. But at the end of the day, this is what I can manage. So it's what I'm doing. And I expect that as my skills get better, I will be able to set up the microphone and the computer and all the extra tools to make the quality even higher as I get better at this. My whole goal with this is to have a place where I can share the things that I write and the things I think about, and alternate between an episode where I'm talking with you, the audience, where I'm telling you about something that's on my mind or an idea I had or extrapolating on some concept. And then I would like to actually talk with somebody, somebody I know, somebody I've just met. That I'm still figuring out, but I do have a few people I'm interested in talking with, and I'm going to start reaching out to them soon so that I can have some conversation-based episodes. And so I'd like to alternate between the episodes where I am talking with you, the listener, and episodes where I am talking with someone who I think is interesting, who is willing to let me ask them some very strange and difficult and hopefully good questions, because that's something that my friends who suggested the podcast said to me, that I ask really good questions, and I would like to continue to do that. I'd like to take pride in the things I'm good at. I like to get past the small talk when there's someone I'm interested in speaking with and get to the important parts, get to the parts that are more substantial. And so that's what I hope to do here. And so that's also where the name came from. I want to talk with you because I do. I love talking with people. I feel like it's probably one of my superpowers if I were to sit there and list things that make me special. I really do enjoy speaking with people and talking with people and hearing what they have to say and conversing and learning new things. I think it's part of why I like learning languages. I'm not quite fluent in any languages besides English yet, but my goal is to continue to learn these different languages so that I can continue to meet people and speak with people from many different places. And I think about all the different volunteer experience I've had and my work experiences that I've had, and a lot of the jobs I've had in the past have required that I converse with people, whether it's customer service based or I even was a volunteer crisis counselor at one point, and so I had to be very comfortable speaking with strangers. And so I guess a lot of what I'm saying is that there's been a lot of experiences, a lot of things that I've done that I think have led me to this, and so that's why it's that much more important for me to just get this out and start talking. And also the name is a riff off of what my uncle said. He said, you know what, I think you've got the gift of gab. And gift of gab, I love that phrase, but it doesn't quite fit me, and I'm not sure that it fits the direction I want to go in with this podcast. Not that there's anything wrong with it. I feel like gift of gab, that phrase is pretty bubbly and effervescent, and while I love that quality in a lot of people, I don't know that this will always be a bubbly and effervescent podcast. Not that I want it to be dark, not that I want it to be heavy, but I do want to have some deep questions and some deep conversations and be really, really thoughtful about whatever it is we learn from each other here, or whatever it is I share with you here. So gift of gab, I tried to think what would be a good riff off of that or similar to that. And so I want to talk with you. Here we are. And when the idea came to me, I immediately went and reserved the Instagram handle, which is I want to talk with you pod. And that is also the website, iwanttotalkwithyou.com, which is currently under construction. But you know what? Again, we're starting before we're ready, and I'm starting now. So this is my first episode into the voice recorder. And I want you all out there who are listening to this to think of something that you've been interested in trying and see if you can take one step closer to getting there today. Like maybe you want to learn to draw. Well, go to the store, get yourself a sketch pad and a nice sketch pencil. Or if that's too much, take it down a step. Grab a scrap piece of paper and an ink pen and start doodling. Just start where you're at. If you want to learn to cook, take stock of what's in your kitchen. You don't even have to go get a bunch of stuff, but hey, maybe you've got an ingredient that you want to learn about. Do a quick Google search. See what kind of recipe that would be good in. Or if you have the means, maybe get some meal kits. I think meal kits are a great way to learn to cook because the recipe card gives you the step-by-step picture instructions as well as the words. And then once you learn how to make those meals comfortably, you can riff off of the recipe cards. Or even cookbooks. Cookbooks are great as long as they have pictures. I have a really hard time with cookbooks that don't have pictures, but that's a conversation for another day. But just anything. It doesn't have to be huge. It doesn't have to be monumental. The little steps you take will build up over time to get you somewhere amazing. So if you want to run a marathon, put your shoes on and start with going for a walk down the block. If you've never, ever done a push-up before in your life, but you want to try, well, maybe you need to get down on the floor and start with a push-up on your knees, or even start at the top of a push-up position and lower yourself down. I don't know. There's lots of things you can try. There are lots of baby steps between starting and reaching your goals. And you know what? When you start, that's worth celebrating too. Don't just celebrate when you reach the goal, and don't move the goal as you reach closer to it, okay? That's something else. I want everyone out there to figure out what it is they're going after, and I want you to be happy and proud every step of the way. I am so happy I took out the voice recorder and just started talking to you guys. I have been writing, and I have a lot of notes, and I have a lot of ideas, and I'm going to just keep recording and putting this out there and seeing what happens. And you know what? If you want to talk with me, if you're an interesting person, or even if maybe you're hesitant and you're not sure that you are, reach out to me, because maybe I think you're interesting, or maybe nobody's asked you the right questions. And so we just have to figure out what is beneath the surface, what is there that is substantial that we can share with everybody. That, of course, you need to be comfortable with sharing too. I don't want anybody to feel exposed or needlessly vulnerable in this process. I want anyone who talks with me to feel safe. So if that's something you're feeling adventurous about, if you're feeling brave, reach out to me. I'll have my email in the description of this podcast. Getting everything set up. So I just realized I have the website. I don't have an official email address for the podcast set up just yet, but when I have it, I will put it in the description. I hope that it'll be a riff off of what I already have, which is I Want to Talk With You pod. So I'm going to just put it out there that it's going to be I Want to Talk With You pod at gmail.com, because I really like Google Mail. So we'll see. But yeah, guys, let's start before we're ready. Let's just take the smallest step forward. Let's move towards what we're meant to move towards. If you can't stop thinking about it, go after it. And I can't stop thinking about talking to you guys, talking with you guys, talking with all of you. And this is maybe not my first step, but all of the little steps I've taken have led me here. And so this is a pretty good place to end up. And this is just the beginning, which is wild. So anyway, thanks for listening, and It's been about 20 minutes. I feel like that's a good amount of time for me to be the only one talking here. So I'm going to go ahead and end it here. But message me, comment on Instagram, send an email. Let me know what you started with. Let me know what your first step was on something. And maybe I'll give you a shout out at the end of another episode in the future. I'm trying out a bunch of things here. I'm basically throwing a bunch of stuff at the wall and seeing what sticks. So maybe that'll be a thing where I share everybody's first steps and we can all celebrate each other. So yeah, let me know if you have any questions, basically anything. Yeah, send me a message on Instagram, or send me an email, and I'm looking forward to hearing back from you. And thanks for listening. And I want to talk with you in the future. Have a great day. Bye.